Did you know that people who live past 90 share remarkably similar morning routines? And no, it's not about expensive supplements or extreme diets. I spent 6 months interviewing centenarians and studying the world's blue zones, places where people regularly live past 100, and I discovered something shocking. It's not what they do that matters most. It's when they do it. The first 2 hours after you wake up might be the most important window of your entire day. And today, I'm going to show you exactly what the world's longest living people do during those critical morning hours. Stick around because habit number 4 completely changed my own health markers in just 30 days, and I'll share my before and after blood work results. Let's dive in. Meet Kazuko Yamamoto. She's 97 years old and lives in Okinawa, Japan, one of the world's famous blue zones. Every single morning for the past 70 years, Kazuko has done the same thing. She walks to her garden at 6:15 a.m. and tends to her vegetables for exactly 20 minutes. When I asked her why, she said something profound. The morning sun wakes up my body before my mind gets busy. And she's absolutely right, but not for mystical reasons. Here's the science. When morning sunlight hits your eyes, it triggers your suprachiasmatic nucleus, your body's master clock. This does 3 critical things. First, it stops melatonin production immediately, making you feel alert and energized naturally. No coffee needed. Second, it sets a timer for melatonin to start again in about 14 to 16 hours, which means you'll actually feel sleepy at bedtime. Poor sleep is one of the biggest predictors of early mortality. Third, and this is the part most people miss, morning sunlight increases serotonin production, which is directly linked to mood stability, reduced inflammation, and even bone density as we age. A 2022 study from Northwestern University found that people who got morning light exposure had significantly lower body mass index, regardless of their diet or exercise. Why? Because their circadian rhythms were optimized, which affects everything from metabolism to cellular repair. But here's what you need to know. It has to be real sunlight, not through a window, not from your phone screen. Actual outdoor light. Even on cloudy days, outdoor light is 10 to 100 times brighter than indoor lighting. Your eyes need that intensity to trigger the biological cascade. So here's your action step. Within 30 minutes of waking up, get outside for 10 to 20 minutes. No sunglasses, just let that natural light hit your eyes. Walk around your yard, sit on your porch, or do some light stretching outside. Kazuko does her gardening. You can do whatever feels good. The key is consistency and timing. Now let's talk about what centenarians eat first thing in the morning. And trust me, it's probably not what you think. I met Margaret Chen in Loma Linda, California, another blue zone. She's 94 and still volunteers at her local hospital 3 days a week. When I visited her home, I expected to see some exotic superfood breakfast. Instead, she was drinking plain water. Not lemon water, not alkaline water, just room temperature filtered water. And lots of it. Margaret drinks 16 ounces, that's 2 full glasses, within 15 minutes of waking up. She's done this every single day since her 40 seconds. Here's why this matters more than you realize. After 6 to 8 hours of sleep, your body is in a state of mild dehydration. Your blood becomes thicker, more viscous. This puts extra strain on your cardiovascular system the moment you start moving around. Studies show that heart attacks and strokes peak in the early morning hours, between 6 a.m. and noon. One major reason? Dehydration increases blood viscosity, making clots more likely. But here's the fascinating part. Hydrating first thing doesn't just help your heart. It jump-starts your lymphatic system, which is responsible for removing cellular waste and toxins. Think of it as taking out the trash that accumulated overnight. A 2019 study in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology found that drinking 500 milliliters of water, about 16 ounces, increased metabolic rate by 30% for the next 30 to 40 minutes. Your body literally burns more calories just from water. And Margaret taught me something else. She drinks her water before any coffee or tea. Why? Because caffeine is a diuretic. If you caffeinate before you hydrate, you're actually making the dehydration worse. So here's habit number 2. Drink 16 ounces of water within 15 minutes of waking up, before anything else enters your mouth. Keep a large glass or bottle by your bedside. Make it the first thing you reach for. Room temperature is easier on your system than ice cold first thing in the morning. If you're finding value in this video so far, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. I interview centenarians and health researchers to bring you the real science behind longevity, not trendy fads. And we're just getting to the good stuff. Now, let's talk about habit number 3. And this one might surprise you because it goes against everything you've been told about breakfast. Giovanni Bastiani is 101 years old. He lives in Sardinia, Italy, another blue zone, and he still walks 2 miles every morning to the local market. When I asked him about his morning routine, he said something that confused me at first. I don't eat breakfast until I've earned it. Giovanni doesn't eat his first meal until 10 or 11 a.m., but here's the key. He's not starving himself. He's following his body's natural rhythm. You see, in the morning, your body is in a catabolic state. It's cleaning house, doing cellular autophagy, removing damaged proteins. This is good. This is when healing happens. When you eat immediately after waking, you shut down this cleaning process. You shift from repair mode to digestion mode. Now, I'm not saying everyone should skip breakfast, but the longest living people don't eat the moment they wake up. They wait. They let their body finish its overnight maintenance. The research backs this up. A 2019 study in cell metabolism found that people who compressed their eating window to 8 to 10 hours per day, naturally creating a longer fasting period, showed improvements in insulin sensitivity, blood pressure, and oxidative stress. And here's what Giovanni does during those morning hours before eating. He moves. Which brings us perfectly to habit number 4. This is the one that changed my life personally. Let me show you something. These are my blood work results from March of last year. My fasting glucose was 102, which is pre-diabetic. My inflammation markers, specifically CRP, were elevated, and my doctor was starting to talk about medication. Then I implemented this one habit for 30 days. Just 30 days. And these are my results from April. Fasting glucose dropped to 87. CRP cut in half. My doctor was shocked. What did I do? I started moving my body within the first hour of waking, before eating anything. Not intense exercise, not running or weightlifting, just gentle, easy movement for 20 to 30 minutes. Every centenarian I interviewed moves in the morning. Giovanni walks. Kazuko gardens. Margaret does Tai Chi in her backyard. Here's the science. When you move in a fasted state, your body doesn't have glucose from food to burn, so it taps into stored energy, specifically glycogen and fat. This makes your cells more insulin sensitive throughout the entire day. A study from the University of Bath found that people who exercised before breakfast burned twice as much fat as those who exercised after eating. But more importantly, their insulin response to meals improved significantly. This isn't about weight loss, though that's a nice side effect. This is about metabolic health, which is the foundation of longevity. Morning movement also does something else critical. It reduces cortisol naturally. Cortisol spikes in the early morning. It's called the cortisol awakening response. If you're sedentary during this spike, cortisol stays elevated, leading to inflammation, anxiety, and poor insulin sensitivity. But when you move, you metabolize that cortisol. You use it as energy rather than letting it damage your cells. So here's habit number 4. Move your body for 20 to 30 minutes within the first hour of waking, before eating. Walk around your neighborhood. Do some yoga. Garden. Dance to music. It doesn't matter what you do. Just move. Make it enjoyable. Make it sustainable. Because consistency beats intensity every single time when it comes to longevity. Now let's talk about the 5th and final habit. And this one is perhaps the most overlooked, but also the most powerful. I met James Thompson in a small town in Costa Rica, near the Nicoya Peninsula, another blue zone. James is 96, and he's one of the most peaceful people I've ever met. Nothing seems to rattle him. Every morning, after his walk and before his first meal, James sits in his garden for exactly 10 minutes and does what he calls his thinking time. He's not meditating in the traditional sense. He's not doing breathing exercises. He's simply sitting quietly, watching the world wake up. And he mentally goes through 3 things he's grateful for. That's it. 10 minutes. 3 gratitudes. When I asked him why, he said, if you start the day rushing and stressed, you'll be rushed and stressed until you sleep. But if you start the day calm and grateful, that peace follows you. The science on this is remarkable. Gratitude practices have been shown to lower inflammation, improve heart rate variability, which is a marker of cardiovascular health, and even lengthen telomeres, the protective caps on your DNA that are directly linked to lifespan. A landmark study from UC Davis found that people who kept daily gratitude journals showed a 25% increase in sleep quality, lower blood pressure, and reduced symptoms of depression. But here's what makes the morning timing so crucial. Your brain is most neuroplastic in the first hour after waking. The neural pathways you activate during this time get strengthened throughout the day. If you start your day scrolling social media, checking work emails, consuming news and other people's problems, you're training your brain to be reactive and anxious. That becomes your default state. But if you start your day with gratitude and stillness, you're training your brain to be present and appreciative. That becomes your default state. James told me something I'll never forget. I've lived through wars, poverty, the death of loved ones. Life has pain. But every morning, I get to choose where I put my attention. That choice has kept me alive. So here's habit number 5. Spend 10 minutes in stillness and gratitude before the chaos of the day begins. Sit outside. Close your eyes if you want. Think of 3 specific things you're grateful for. Make them detailed. Not just I'm grateful for my family, but I'm grateful for the way my granddaughter laughs when she's surprised. The specificity matters. It activates your brain differently. And here's a bonus tip. Combine this with your morning sunlight from habit number 1. Sit outside, get your light exposure, and practice your gratitude. 2 habits at once. Let me quickly recap all 5 habits for you. Habit number 1. Get outside and expose your eyes to natural sunlight within 30 minutes of waking. 10 to 20 minutes minimum. Habit number 2. Drink 16 ounces of water within 15 minutes of waking before coffee or food. Habit number 3. Delay your first meal for at least 2 to 3 hours after waking. Let your body complete its cellular cleanup. Habit number 4. Move your body for 20 to 30 minutes in a fasted state. Easy, enjoyable movement. Walk, stretch, garden. Habit number 5. Spend 10 minutes in stillness and gratitude. 3 specific things you're thankful for. Here's the truth. None of these habits are complicated. None of them cost money. None of them require special equipment or supplements. But they require consistency. And that's what separates people who live to 90 and beyond from those who don't. Every single centenarian I interviewed had morning routines they'd followed for decades. Not days, not months, decades. Because here's what they understood. Your morning routine isn't just about that day, it's about the accumulation of thousands of mornings over a lifetime. Giovanni told me, people think living to 100 is about one big secret. It's not. It's about 100 small decisions made well, every single day. So here's my challenge to you. Pick one of these 5 habits. Just one. Start tomorrow morning. Do it for 30 days. Track how you feel. Notice the changes. Once that one becomes automatic, add another, then another. You're not just building a morning routine, you're building a longer, healthier, more vibrant life. If you want to learn more about longevity and practical health strategies backed by real research, subscribe to this channel. I release a new video every week, and I promise you, no hype, no gimmicks, just real information from real people who are actually living long, healthy lives. Drop a comment below and let me know which habit you're going to start with. I read every single comment and I love hearing about your experiences. And if you know someone who would benefit from this information, maybe a parent, a friend, or someone struggling with their health, share this video with them. These simple habits could literally add years to their life. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Now get outside and get some sunlight.